All right, we had some people ask to test the sleeping bag. Some worries about condensation, so I'm gonna go ahead and lie down. And my son says I already look homeless, but I'm gonna put on a face mask to keep in the moisture and a lot of the heat, and try and make sure if I put my face under there that I won't be filling up the sleeping bag with moisture. And then you can see over here there's snow on the ground. I'm kind of cold. You can see my breath. I, I was just wearing a parka inside, a coat inside, because I was so cold inside. But here we go. A little homeless guy, but all right. We got the data logger wires hooked up. This is the shorter sleeping bag for my son, but I wanted to test it rather quickly, so. All right. Good night. Let's see how it does. Woo! Oh wow, I'm already warming up. This is awesome. I'm making another one that's going to be taller, so about a foot taller. So it'll be more for a large man size, not a teenager. All right. Hope it works. Good night. Well, pretty much made it through the night. It was pretty warm for the first 4 hours, even though the sleeping bag's a foot too short for me. I wanted to get it tested for some people who do stuff for the Ukraine. They wanted to have it tested overnight. And there's been some comments about the worry about the moisture buildup. So even though it's really windy, it felt like somebody was grabbing the sleeping bag and shaking it because the wind was fine for the first 4.5 hours, but it helps to have the mask on to keep the heat in and the moisture in. But I did get condensation buildup when I put my head down inside the sleeping bag. The mask did reduce the moisture escaping my body, but it did start getting condensation on the bag, and so the temperature dropped. I imagine, I'll have to look at the data logger, but I imagine my body temperature dropped. Started feeling a little cold. But if you just keep it pulled tight around you, and don't breathe into the bag, then I think that'll avoid your condensation issues. So there's no issues with moisture or anything until I put my head down inside and breathe into the bag. And if you didn't have a mask on, that would have been much, much worse. But it was it said 70% humidity, so it was a perfect night to test it, even though it wasn't very cold. Versus other nights, the humidity was much higher, so it was perfect conditions to test with the moisture concerns. So yeah, if you're not wearing a mask and you're breathing inside the sleeping bag, definitely could be an issue. But if you use the mask, that reduces the problem quite a bit. And it was still much warmer with the bag, even though there was condensation on the inside of the bag. So yeah, I would much rather have it, even if there were some condensation issues. Yes, I was grateful to have the sleeping bag. And I get cold even with 4 or 5 layers of blankets inside the house. And so for me to stay warm for 4 hours in a sleeping bag that's a foot too short, well, I kind of pulled it and stretched it out, so it wasn't insulating as well as it normally would because I stretched out the insulation. But yeah, it works. It's a great idea, great inspired concept. So that's good news to report. So thank you.